Alright, I'm back. Let me go ahead and just redo some things really quick. I would rather just do that right off the bat than end up live streaming for like 5 hours without GR2, because there's no way I'd be able to do that. So let me just go ahead and fix a few things on our live stream, and then we will be good to go. I'm going to go down here and fix some settings very briefly, and I'm going to re-at the Discord server. Okay, there we go. That's fixed. Okay, there we go. All right, we have random guy in here. I just wanted to do that. I mean, better now than oh shoot. Better now than later, right? I don't want to end up going really far into this coverage and not having like any radar sites to work with. That would be absolutely horrific. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull up all of our radars. Thank you guys for bearing with me for just a moment during that. I should have checked. I don't know why my computer does that. My computer does that. When I first turn it on in the morning, it just says, screw you, GR2, I'm not going to work. So I should have just instinctively refreshed it before starting. So that's my bad. But yeah, we can't go without these programs because they literally, you know, they're the ones that give us the beeps for the tornado warnings, help us with figuring out how many tornado warnings there are. I mean, it's literally the main programs that I use. So didn't want to go without that. All right, there we go. Everything is good to go. Just double check absolutely everything here on YouTube. Audio's fine. Looks like everything's good to go. So, yeah, welcome back to another live stream on the channel. I decided not to do the intro there either because I don't want to make y'all wait even longer. Just make sure that you are hyperweather aware. Now we can look at our main. There you go. That's what I like. I like this overlay here. So there's your main risk for severe weather. That enhanced risk storms are already getting into it. I did... And I still wonder if the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center will go moderate. My personal opinion from what I've seen with model runs, we have actually downtrended on like the lower level jet and the overall jet stream for today, which is very interesting. I don't know how long that downtrend is going to last. It seems like the HRRR model's like screwed up there. Let's see. Okay, there we are. There we are. Yeah, so I don't know how long that's going to last, if that downtrend is going to continue or not, but it seems like our main event is kicking up now. I mean, all the model runs were completely dead wrong there. I don't feel like we're going to actually see that moderate risk. You know, I thought it was a possibility somewhere generally in this area here, so... that's where I think we have the best opportunity to see tornadoes. You can see that enhanced risk is larger in this area. I don't think we're going to end up seeing that moderate risk because of that downtrend that we're seeing in the upper atmosphere. Basically, our surface has uptrended and everything above the lower levels has actually downtrended. So it's kind of evened out to an enhanced risk for severe weather. But then we have like NATOcast that has a 45 sig or something, which is ridiculous. Let me put that pinned message in. I did forget that. Yes, I had to restart, Caden, because my GR2 was not working. And I cannot go without GR2 on a main severe weather risk day. That's like impossible. That is legit impossible. Alright, there we go. Again, I appreciate you guys bearing with me while I fixed that. I don't believe this is a CC drop. It does look like it, but it's not aligned. It doesn't look aligned to me. Kane says it is, which Caden's pretty good at radar analysis, so... What do you think, Caden? Is it on the ground? From this radar standpoint, you can see the CC. It looks like clear air at the moment. But it may be. We may have a tornado on the ground here. We may have a tornado on the ground. So just make sure you're seeking shelter in Shawnee, Oklahoma. there's the potential for a tornado to be on the ground. And if it's not on the ground, then one could very, very quickly develop and drop down. And then we have our other tornado warning out here north of Ringling, Oklahoma. That is pretty far from radar sites, so we're not going to be able to see that too well until it gets closer to the OKC area. But that's our little area of interest and question for a tornado being on the ground. You can see it does personally. I believe that it's clear air and it's not on the ground, but why risk it, Shawnee? Just make sure you are in your safe spot. Very easily could be a tornado on the ground. There's a lot of chasers out and about today. I don't know if any of them are on this storm. I believe most of them are very well off to the east. We actually do have a chaser on this storm. I don't want to show his feed because I didn't ask his permission, but I will watch his feed, and if he has anything, I will let y'all know. He's going to be on this storm, and there is your tornado watch. We just got our tornado watch. Let's see here. There we go. And we should see that watch come out at any given second. There you go. Probabilities on that is a 70-40, so that is a decent tornado watch there, kind of like what we had Wednesday last week. Not really a high-end tornado watch. That's a decent probability tornado watch. I forgot if a 70% is a high threat for tornadoes. It might actually be.
Tornado warning for northwestern Seminole County in east central Oklahoma, southeastern Lincoln County in central Oklahoma, northeastern Pottawatomie County in central Oklahoma, Lincoln, Pottawatomie, and Seminole County in Oklahoma.
Okay, there we go. So, yeah, if we did have a tornado, it would have been just to the south and west of Shawnee, Oklahoma. Is my GR2 not updating? Come on, programs. Having some issues with our GR2 here. Let's see. Okay, there we go. I mean, I don't see any definitive debris signatures on any of the scans, random guy. Let me see if I can get another scan in between those. It's not confirmed either from the National Weather Service there. So it could be corruption. What you're looking at might end up being corruption. So just make sure you're in your safe spot, Shawnee, Oklahoma. If there was a tornado, the good news is I believe that it's if there was one down, it's lifted, and it's currently mainly a wind threat as it moves through y'all's area. So just make sure you're still in your safe spot. But it does appear that area of rotation is weakening. You could see between those scans where it tightened up southwest of Shawnee, Oklahoma, and then it broke apart, which don't know why we were missing data there. Here it is on Radar Mega. You can see it tighten up for 1 to 2 scans there, and then it begins to weaken as it approaches Shawnee, Oklahoma. So if it was on the ground, it's definitely lifted by now. I want to get more scans here. It's not giving me any more scans between where we think that tornado might have dropped. Hello, Samuel Wilkinson. And Sebastian. And Ty as well. Yeah, hopefully we don't see anything in Sulphur. Your main risk today is definitely in that enhanced risk for severe weather. That tornado watch does go into Dallas, Texas as well. So it's a decent size risk for severe weather as we expected. Monday, which is today, would be our biggest risk for severe weather, and it does appear that way. And here comes a new
tornado warning for northeastern Jefferson County in southern Oklahoma, southwestern Garvin County in southern Oklahoma, southeastern Stevens County in southern Oklahoma, northwestern Carter County in southern Oklahoma, West Central Murray County in southern Oklahoma, Carter, Garvin, Jefferson, Murray, and Stevens County in Oklahoma.
All right, so you can see that little area of rotation right there, where the blue and the green are touching. That's a little area of rotation progressing up to the north and east. You can see its motion. Earlier, it was a bit more like this, but now it's moved more off to the north and east, which has prompted that new tornado warning for areas. There you go, more to the north and east. That now includes Purnell, Elmore City, Katy. You guys are all inside that new tornado warning that was just issued. Shawnee, Oklahoma, I believe that storm has very little tornado threat with it now. You can see the velocity signatures now look more like a line there, which is indicating it's more outflow dominant. So I do believe the tornado potential with that storm has gone down for now. It will most likely ramp up again within probably the next 30 minutes or maybe even less. Glad to see you in here, Caleb, in Legacy. I know we're live a bit early, so you guys are definitely in school, but thanks for tuning in. And yeah, thankfully neither one of you guys are really in the risk for severe weather today. Caleb's barely outside that marginal risk. So yeah, just a couple supercells that we're going to be keeping a very close eye on out here as these storms move off to the north and east. So we'll continue to watch that closely. Yeah, I don't think we'll see a moderate anymore. Earlier this morning, I was pretty confident in us seeing a moderate, but we've had some downtrends that I believe are going to keep this from actually going moderate. But all it takes is one storm. You know, if we get one prefrontal storm, which right now these are decently discrete, we could easily see a big tornado today. We could very easily see a big tornado today. Shreveport's fine. You know, your threat's very late tonight. Mainly just rain and an isolated wind gust as we go into early tomorrow morning. I would not be concerned in Shreveport. That's another thing, you know, if we're not talking about your area, that means you're not in an imminent threat. These are our only active warnings right now. So those are the main areas we're paying very, very close attention to. If you're in the red boxes, that's a tornado warning. That means a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. So just make sure you are in your safe spot if you're in those tornado warnings. I appreciate you guys being here with me quite early in the afternoon. We're not used to streaming here at noon. It's not really the time frame we go live often at all. Definitely the most favorable environment right now, if you guys are wondering that. It's for sure just barely out in front of these storms. We have our warm front that's lifted about this far northward. And then we, of course, have the cold front right behind that. And your low pressure, I don't know exactly where, but it's probably somewhere near Oklahoma City. So your most favorable environment is definitely directly in front of those tornado-warned storms. And we did just get a new meso analysis here. And we'll actually get another new one soon. Yeah, so this is from about an hour ago or so. So it's lifted more north than that. So imagine this is just a bit more north. So this instability is probably closer to this area here. With your cold front trailing behind like this. And your low pressure somewhere up in this vicinity here. So that warm front's going to continue to lift northward, possibly all the way into southeastern Kansas to where our setup would look more like this. So that warm front's going to move very, very, very far northward. It's going to keep lifting all that instability really far northward, allowing for a very large open warm sector of very favorable ingredients for pretty much the entire day today. It's all going to come down to storm interactions and storm mergers. So our ingredients, we already know our ingredients are really not going to be much of an issue. Maybe lower level lapse rates could end up being a bit of an issue. But generally, it's just going to be how these storms are. You know, are they very clustered? Are they linear? Are they discrete? Where are they moving? How quick are they moving? All the pretty much just complete now casting. We don't really want to look at the, what's going to happen in the future, because not many, if any, of our simulated precipitation, or rather simulated reflectivity, are going to be able to predict that. Our model runs are not handling this event well at all, so it's going to be a complete now cast, which means just looking at what the environment is doing now as opposed to what it may do in, 4 or 5 hours. Because HRRR really doesn't have much happening right now. HRRR has the primary threat kicking up at 8 o'clock, but I don't believe that's actually the case. I think our primary threat's now. Our primary threat is, now. The HRRR is a good solid, what, 5-6 hours behind on the primary severe threat. So again, just make sure you're seeking shelter if you're in those red boxes. Those are active tornado warnings, meaning tornadoes are imminent. Let me go back over to here. Yeah, so you can see that area of rotation has continued to decrease. We could still see a brief spin up on the northern side of that, now going into Johnson, northeast of Shawnee, Oklahoma. Definitely don't see much of a threat with that at the moment, but still definitely want to be seeking shelter because there is a tornado warning there. Then we have our other supercell here near Fox, Oklahoma. That is going to be north and west of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Really hard to depict what's happening with this supercell thanks to our lack of radar coverage out here. We don't have a lot of radars in this area, so it's difficult to depict what's happening with these storms. So just make sure you are, like I said, in your safe spot. That's probably going to be the case every now and then in this general area. I know once we see storms move into this region, we're going to have these radar holes, and it's going to be annoying to work with. It's definitely going to be annoying to work with. But as for other cells, I mean, I really don't see a whole lot up here. This is just a line of weak winds here north of our tornado warning. And like I said, could see a spin up still. Ooh. That's looking a lot more promising for a tornado. You can see those very tight, very, very tight pixels right in here. And they could end up spinning enough to the point where we could end up with a very brief tornado. You can see that hook that has started to form on this. I don't think this will be long-lived, though. We'll see if this is here next scan. But that hook is just now started to form. Pretty good-looking supercell. I mean, you could definitely see the overall structure of your supercell here with that hook echo at the bottom. So, kind of just really a normal supercell. It's not a whole lot of special characteristics with it. It's not a classic supercell. Waiting for that new velocity scan there. Yeah, that's your new velocity scan. So you could still see that pretty tight couplet right there near Johnson in Oklahoma. No debris signature yet with that, which is good news, but we could definitely see a tornado drop at any moment in that tornado warned area. Richardson, Texas. Let's see. So you're in the tornado watch area, so you definitely want to be weather aware. Like I said, there's a lot of model issues here. There's not a lot of models that are predicting this correctly whatsoever. I would say you're probably going to get in on some thunderstorm action around 4 p.m. Probably 3-4 p.m. Central. That's what I would be looking at, because it's probably going to end up being this line here that's slowly moving off to the northeast, and we'll see more storms fire to the south, and those storms that fire really far south will be the ones that move up into your area. So it should be like right in the middle of daytime heating. right in the middle of the day. 3 p.m. Central or so. All right, there's your new scan. This still looks really good. You can see that really good curvature with our supercell, really good inflow, nice clear slot in front of it. So we definitely have the opportunity to see a tornado out of that storm there. So you're just northeast of Joplin or right around the Joplin area. So your threat will be a little later tonight. Most likely you're going to end up with storms probably closer to 6. That's like 6 p.m. Central Time. Or 5, yeah. 5, 6 p.m. Central up there. All hazards are obviously a possibility. All right, let's see if we've gotten any new data here. So we're waiting for that new scan. Waiting for that new scan on this northern storm, and there it is. So definitely looks like we're losing an area of rotation once again here. So that's good news. You can see that supercell is still looking a bit more outflow dominant. As long as it has this look, you know, it still has clear air out in front of it. It still has a curvature look to it. As long as it keeps that, it's going to be able to continue to, you know, die out, then rotate, die out, rotate, die out, rotate. It's called cycling process. So I think storms are going to be able to recycle frequently as long as it can keep that look. You really think they should have pulled a moderate? I don't. I've backed out of the moderate. I've backed out of that happening. I don't think we'll see a moderate today. Cape is overperforming. Let's see. We did get that new meso analysis at 17Z, right? Yep, 17Z. 3,000 instability in southeast Oklahoma. If we take a look at our NAM model, which should be the one that, believe it or not, is most accurate here, that is 1,000 instability higher. So, yikes! You're definitely right with the Cape overperforming, Caden. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Jessica. I'm in central Arkansas. Storms are popping off in the western part of the state. It's pretty sunny here. What do you think we should expect? Or is that Arizona? Is that Arkansas or Arizona? I don't know my abbreviations too well. I'm 95% sure that's Arkansas. Let's see. So that's just a lot of messy convection. I don't think that's going to do much. It's so hard to tell. You know, all of our models are terrible. It's so difficult to tell. But yeah, I really don't know. But if you're in like Little Rock, you're perfectly fine from today's severe threat. Storms should die out before they get to you. But the more west and northwest you go, the better chance you have for tornadoes. This is going to be just barely off the screen. That's going to be the main line we watch for the entirety of today into early tonight. And that's going to make its way through all of Oklahoma and into western Arkansas before it dies out, or at least weakens near Russellville. So in central Arkansas, I would expect just heavy rainfall very early tomorrow morning, likely around 5 a.m. Isolated damaging wind gust up to 60 miles per hour, and we can't fully rule out a weak spin-up tornado, but that tornado threat is definitely very low. Yeah, HRRR is not doing a good job whatsoever. I would not be listening to the HRRR with this threat, which, I mean, it handles some threats pretty poorly, but it's really, really handling this one poorly. Here it goes again. You can see that little area, pixel to pixel action again. Now northeast of Johnson, Oklahoma. This is the third time the thing's recycled here, and it could drop a tornado. So just make sure you are in your safe spot. So continue to stay in your safe spot if you are in these areas. That includes Johnson and Prague. Probably butchered that one. It's about 5,000 people inside that tornado warning. So seek shelter. And then our other tornado warning is back out here further to the southwest. That includes Elmore City, Katy, Purnell, Fox, Oklahoma, just to the north and west of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Still continuing to see that little area of velocities out here. As long as that area of velocity stays there, the National Weather Service will most likely continue to issue tornado warnings on that storm. And there goes our area of rotation again. Look at that. So let me just go all the way back. At first cycled here. You can see it cycled right there southwest of Shawnee, Oklahoma. Then it died out. Then it cycled again northeast of Shawnee, Oklahoma, died out. Cycled again southwest of Johnson, Oklahoma, died out. Cycled again northeast of Johnson, Oklahoma, and now it's died out again. I mean, this thing has cycled over and over again, but thankfully none of them have looked that significant. None of them have looked like really solid couplets, and I haven't seen any debris signatures. That's a pretty good open warm sector there. We do have a lot of rain showers out in it, but generally you're looking at a pretty good warm sector over most of our severe weather risk. Our warm front has actually lifted already. It lifted really far north on that within an hour there. It's already all the way up here past Tulsa, Oklahoma. So now our warm front is generally up in this area here, with our cold front extending back down in this area. Let me see if I can find the low pressure here. According to mesoanalysis, your low pressure is most likely still near Oklahoma City. It's somewhere around the OKC area. It's a very weak low, though. Yeah, it's a pretty weak low. It might not even be that far. Yeah. Yeah, it's still right around OKC. Yes, it is. I had to go check the surface observations to see. And it's just going to move northeastward. So your low, like I said, that's your warm front. Then your cold front goes back out in this area. Your low pressure is here. Your low is going to be moving very slowly like this. And so eventually your low pressure is going to move away from all the, good instability and all the tornado ingredients, and that will happen late tonight, and that's when your severe threat decreases rapidly. If you guys are just now tuning in, the only thing I ask is hit that like button because it helps reach the YouTube algorithm, and we want to get as much, we want to get the word out to as many people as possible. Which one? The South tornado warning? Yeah. Yeah, like I said, as long as we keep that arching, we're going to continue to see storm cycle. You can see that supercell look on your ZDR here. And if we do see a tornado, it's definitely going to be on that southern side, right at my cursor. Excuse me. It doesn't look as good as it once did, though, about like 15, 20 minutes ago. It looks quite a bit worse. I can't tell exactly. Yeah, it just looks more outflow dominant there. Let's see here. Davenport, Oklahoma. Yeah, but there's not a lot of rotation on that. But I do see what you mean. We do have another hook echo trying to form around Davenport, Oklahoma. As that moves up to the northeast, it could very easily begin to rotate. So if I'm out in front of this storm, which is generally in this area here, I would be making sure my safe spot's ready to go just in case a tornado warning comes in, and paying very, very close attention to your weather radio or wherever you get your watches and warnings from, because we could quickly see a warning come through for y'all out there in Kendrick, Davenport, Shamrock, that general vicinity in Oklahoma. I still don't feel like the HRRR is handling our severe threat all that well. It does have the location of the low pressure nailed down pretty well. But the HRRR model is extremely confident in these storms down here. I think these storms, right? Yeah. Yeah, the HRRR is very confident in these storms down here becoming our primary severe weather threat as they move into south central Oklahoma around 3 p.m., around 2 to 3 p.m. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the HRRR is wrong about that. We're still at 2 tornado warnings. Either one of them could drop a tornado at any moment. Although this one's definitely starting to die out now. See how it's losing that arcing? See this arcing from about 10 minutes ago, and as we progress, you'll see it loses that arcing a lot over the last few frames. So I do think the tornado threat's going down with that storm. Let me go back over to this radar site. So main storm we're going to watch here is going to be the one south of Elmore City, Oklahoma. Heading very close to Elmore City, Oklahoma over the next 15 minutes or so. Oh, you guys can see that place file. Let me move that out of your way. We do have 2 severe warnings as well. That's back up in just south of Davenport. We'll go see what those are for real quick. One's for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. The other one is actually tour possible for the same hazards as well. Don't see a lot of rotation anywhere in this area. You know, I'm looking for any couplets that are very, very, that look like they're rotating, some green and reds, and I'm just seeing a lot of reds here. So, right now, definitely way more confident in this Elmore City storm, trying to produce a tornado. This stuff's clustered, but I feel like it's eventually going to get its act together and try to produce later on. But at the moment, it's not doing so well. But we have a long, long day ahead of us here. Tornadoes will be possible from now all the way through until about, I mean, geez, probably all the way until, let me see how far this goes out. I'd say until it grows upscale when it gets really messy towards about, geez, I mean, we could be looking at like 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Eastern time before these storms really get dying out here. One thing I haven't looked at yet today is satellite. Satellite can tell you a heck load about a severe weather threat. It can really, really help with dissecting what severe weather and where the severe weather will be. And yeah, look at that. You can actually see these storms are definitely going upscale out here along the Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana border, as well as the Oklahoma border. Those are definitely growing more upscale. You can see our main supercells are definitely already into the mid-levels there in central Oklahoma. Some storms trying to fire back out further south. You do have quite a lot of clearing in this area, which is not our main severe threat. But if you look in front of that cold front, we do have a little area of clearing, very sharp area of clearing. Still some lower levels near surface cloud cover there. That's going to inhibit, you know, the cap lifting or some lower level lapse rates increasing. So that could be a little issue there, just having those lower level clouds hanging around for so long, not allowing for the best daytime heating. So definitely a bit of a messy setup for severe weather, but still either way, I mean, this area here looks like we're going to see a couple strong tornadoes possible in that area. Like I said, that's where your warm front's currently soaring up northward. Your instability, as Caden said, is overperforming. Your ingredients are definitely getting more prime out in that area. So definitely the most favorable environment is still going to be in front of these supercells. It's just going to be, it's all going to come down to what these storms are looking like when they enter that area. Because if they look like this when they enter the area, they're going to be rotating a lot more. We're down to one tornado warning now, which expires in about 20 minutes. Yep, expires in exactly 20 minutes. I still think this could quickly produce a tornado. It has a broad area of rotation. I could switch to this so you could see it a bit better. See that red and green in this region? Not strong rotation, but we are looking higher up in the atmosphere, which means that rotation is probably, it might even be weaker at the surface than what it's showing here on radar. But just going to, just got to keep an eye on it. Make sure you're still seeking shelter out here in Elmore City, Katy, Oklahoma, southwest of Pauls Valley. Haley, I don't see much severe weather for you anytime soon. Right now, we're focused on the severe threat at hand today. And then after today, we do have a small tornado threat tomorrow. A very, very small tornado threat tomorrow. And then we obviously, which I don't think I've ever showed you guys this yet, we obviously have now Tropical Depression 18 in the Caribbean. That is expected to become a hurricane as it goes towards the Cayman Islands into Cuba. And then thanks to this severe weather trough ejection here, as well as next week's trough ejection, wind shear should batter this storm as it enters the Gulf of Mexico, where hopefully it will just die out in the Gulf of Mexico as opposed to impacting the U.S. But either way, there's still going to be the potential for a brief spin-up tornado in far southwestern Florida as we go into Wednesday. So yeah, like I said, we're down to one tornado warning. We have 3 severe warnings. This looks really good. Like, this is definitely turned more into a classic supercell here. But it still has some convection on the southern flank. We'll see how that progresses over the next couple minutes. Let's see. Yeah, we're back at a little area of rotation here, southeast of Davenport. That's from our previously tornado-warned storm. Definitely not strong, probably not enough to warrant a tornado warning. But you can see a little hook that is indented out of this embedded line, an embedded supercell. That could produce a very, probably some very weak wind speeds, maybe some damaging wind speeds, but probably not much of a tornado threat at the moment with that storm. Is it Tor possible? Okay, it is Tor possible, so if you are out in front of that, southwest of Bristow, Oklahoma, make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows, and stay close to your safe spot. Stay close to your safe spot. Yeah, so you can see this embedded supercell that we're watching here, still tornado warned. It's got a lot of convection on its southern flank, which is probably can't English. It's probably preventing it from producing a tornado at the moment. We'll see. We'll see if that changes, but honestly, that might be able to hold our storm back from producing a tornado. So we'll see what happens. I do want to go look at CSU severe probabilities for today. Our normal NATO cast has a 60 sig Tor for whatever reason. I don't exactly know why. And CSU has a 15 sig in central Arkansas, which is definitely not going to happen. The reason why I say that is because storms have fired way too far west for that to happen. So CSU most likely is off on the timing of the trough ejection. It might think that the trough's faster, whereas it's actually pretty slow. Our trough's still out here in east central Oklahoma. It's spreading out over this whole area. You have a very large trough ejection spreading through this whole area, but your trough's probably it's just slower than what the CSU severe probabilities are thinking. And I don't know what NATOcast is seeing. I've looked through every model run, and I can't find a single model run that indicates that we'd be seeing tornadoes, strong tornadoes and that many tornadoes in this area. That's where NATOcast has a very high-end probability, and I just don't see it. I don't see it. But who knows? Maybe we'll end up with something not far up to the northeast here. Yeah, both of those storms still look pretty good on reflectivity, but they're not really increasing velocity-wise. Are not really increasing velocity-wise there. Our primary tornado threat should be later in the day, I think. I really don't know. I really don't know, honestly. HRRR wants that primary threat around 3 p.m. Eastern, like I said. Really gets going about 3 p.m. Eastern and then goes from 3 p.m. all the way till very, very late tonight. It's just, this is a very difficult setup. This isn't your straightforward setup here. All right. Again, still watching this singular tornado warning storm here. Just one left that expires in 13 minutes. We might go warningless here in 13 minutes. I don't really think these are going to get their act together anytime soon because they're so linear. If we do see them get their act together, it's definitely going to be one of these 3 southern storms in this area. This is all linear, so that's a very minimal tornado threat. This could still try and spin up. This could try to spin up. And then these storms later down the line could try to do something, but I'm not very confident in it at all. I'm definitely not confident in it. Interesting. Still pretty good hook echo there. You can see this very small. I don't know if this is a small supercell. It's more of a normal supercell here, but it does have a hail core, so it is definitely quite an embedded supercell. And it does look pretty classic. It does have quite the classic supercell look to it and a classic signature there. But thankfully, no debris ball yet. Not the strongest velocity couplet, so I don't feel like it's going to be able to do it. It just feels too messy right now. And that's obviously evident here because we haven't seen, many strong areas of rotation yet today. Let me see what the wrap model thinks here. Is the wrap handling instability well? Even the actual wrap model is still underdoing instability. So I think our best time frame for tornadoes, our most likely time frame for tornadoes would be right about 3 p.m. Central, or 3 p.m. Eastern, rather. 3 p.m. Eastern. 3 p.m. Eastern. All the way till... Let's see here. So that's 3 p.m. now. I got to get the time right in my head. Because we did our fallback now. So we're back to standard time, not daylight savings. So that's going to be 3 p.m., 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd say from 3 to 8. 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Very weak area of rotation there. I don't even think you could classify that as rotation, actually. I don't even think you could call that rotation. But I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, crap.
Warning for Eastern Garvin County in southern Oklahoma, southeastern McLean County in central Oklahoma, Garvin, and McLean County in Oklahoma.
I really wasn't expecting that, honestly. But they did decide to extend that tornado warning more off to the northeast. Now Paws Valley, Winewood, Stratford, Oklahoma, now all included inside that new tornado warning. See you later, Caleb. I'm sure you'll be back in here soon. Let me go see what the SBC's thinking here. So that tornado watch is in effect until 7 p.m. That is early. That is early. 7 p.m. I mean, we'll have storms in this watch area all the way until probably near midnight tonight. So that's actually a pretty short tornado watch. Considering how slow this trough ejection is moving, I mean, it's creeping along. That's a pretty short watch. I mean, it is over 7 hours still, but it's just pretty short for the amount of time we're probably going to see storms in this watch area. So we got 2 tornado warnings now. They're for the same storm. It's for this little area of rotation generally around this area. I mean, it's a very broad circulation. There's not much to it. Pretty surprised they rewarned that. I mean, yeah, you can see it's very broad. It's right in here. So we'll continue to watch that. It is far from the radar site, so always keep that in mind. We're going to be looking further up in the atmosphere. Let's go see western Arkansas. Yeah, these are still just staying as rain to thunderstorms here. Really just heavy rain and isolated lightning and thunder with them in west central Arkansas. Go out here to Texas. That's just really a line and a cluster of rain showers there. So not concerned about that either. So still looks like we're really just watching that singular tornado-warned storm. Like I said, that is in Winewood, Oklahoma. In Paws Valley, Oklahoma. That is your only tornado warning storm. There is 2 tornado warnings on it, though. You can see this is one tornado warning here, and then you have another one here. What are your thoughts about North Dallas, south of Collins, Texas? Like I said, today's setup's very tricky, but my thoughts in that area. I think we could definitely see a couple tornadoes. Maybe even a strong tornado near or north of that area. But the primary threat should be damaging winds and small hail. But you could end up with a tornado or two and maybe even a strong tornado near that region. At least according to the SPC as well as model runs. My personal opinion, I don't think it's the best environment. I don't think it's that favorable just yet. So it's going to have to be a little bit later, closer to 3-4 p.m. before we start seeing any type of tornadic activity in Texas. Wynwood. Or Winniewood. See, what you did there, you put it like Winniewood. Winniewood? Okay, Winniewood. I'll remember that for maybe 2-3 minutes at the most. 2 to 3 minutes at the most, and then I'll go back to calling it Winewood. Let me go back over to the HRRR here. Actually, I want to go to mesoanalysis. That's where I want to go. I'm going to go look at mesoanalysis again. Yeah, lower level lapsoids are our main issue right now. That's why these storms kind of feel like they're miniature supercells and not full, full large supercells. They're kind of miniature embedded supercells. Surface observation. So we're at about 72/70, just to the south of Shawnee, Oklahoma, or right around Shawnee, Oklahoma. That is definitely favorable. Just those dew points and temperatures is favorable for tornadoes. But we do have a favorable environment, like I said. Oh, we did get a severe warning up here. This is getting closer and closer to Tulsa. That's for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And I do think this line is becoming more of a line and less of a tornado threat. So we'll probably see these possible tornado tags go off in pretty soon. This one's for 18 more minutes. This one's for 18 more minutes. They still could produce weak tornadoes eventually, but right now it looks like that tornado threat's going down as they're approaching Tulsa. I did see the newest NATO cast. I did. I don't know why it has such high probabilities. I mean, it has absolutely ridiculous probabilities in this area here. Like all the way from Springfield down through Fayetteville, near Fort Smith, back out west, east of Oklahoma City, and then back towards Tulsa.
Eastern Garvin County in southern Oklahoma, north-central Murray County in southern Oklahoma, Garvin, and Murray County in Oklahoma.
So because of these cell mergers, our tornado warning storm has begun to move more eastward again. So they've issued a new tornado warning. Man, that is a mess of warnings right there. We've got 3 tornado warnings in one area right now. Look at that. So if you live in Brady, Oklahoma here, that's east of Elmore City. You're in 3 different tornado warnings. 1 for 2 more minutes, or now 1 minute. So you got 1 for 1 minute, and then 2 more for 31 more minutes. I want to go back down here to Texas again. Yeah, so these storms are still just very clustered. That's probably what's going to keep today from being a big day, which is one of the reasons why I don't believe we'll be seeing a moderate risk anymore. Earlier this morning, it looked like storms were, they'd have a better opportunity to fire discrete and be more of prefrontal storms. But now it just looks like genuinely a messy, messy setup. Let's see, Sulphur, Oklahoma. Oh, yeah, you definitely could end up with something later on. I don't know if it's going to come from this storm here, because that's probably going to go to your north. But these cells later on in the afternoon hours could end up getting up towards Sulphur and trying to do something up there. But like I said, there is a lot of uncertainty on what's going to happen with this risk. That's just why, that's why the SPC just has a big tornado watch out, and they have such a pretty large enhanced risk in eastern Oklahoma and Texas, because we don't know exactly where that highest threat is. If we did know where that highest threat would be, they would probably have introduced a moderate risk, but there's just too much of a question mark of, that's a 2. There's too much of a question mark of exactly where that highest threat for tornadoes will be. So we're gonna just continue to monitor it, watch it closely, and see what ends up happening. I'm really intrigued here. Because we have like it's such a difficult setup. That's just how it is. That's how it is in 2024. There's only been like 3 setups this year that were like, yes, we're going to see a tornado outbreak. And even those, we questioned them every now and then. So just going to be watching these storms. Like I said, there's not really much to them. I personally don't see a lot. There's a lot wrong with today's setup. Let me just go over some of those. The biggest one is cloud cover, as well as lower level cloud cover, so minimal sunlight. Another big issue is lower level lapse rates. Your lower level lapse rates are only at like 5 right now. Can I see a skew T here? I want to see a skew T. I might have to pull a sounding. But yeah, we might have, oh, there we go. Yeah, we do have a little dry air entrainment, but I don't think that dry air is going to be much of an issue. So it's more of a lower level lapse rate issue, as well as, like I said, cloud cover. And then your messy storm mode is a big thing. If we didn't have such a messy storm mode, we would be dealing with a completely different day. So, oh, there's our first severe in Texas. Not too surprised about that. That's for Bridgeport, Texas. And according to the HRRR, these are the storms that will be potentially big tornado makers in about 2.5, 3 hours. Let me see. Yeah, but like I said, our ingredients, except for our lapse rates, they're pretty good. There's not a wind shear issue. There's not an instability issue. It's a lower level lapse rate issue, as well as the storm mode. The reason why the lower level lapse rates are a big issue is because of the cloud cover. The cloud cover is causing that lower level lapse rate issue because we haven't had enough daytime heating. And then that storm mode doesn't help for any tornadic activity either. You know, you have a very, very messy, clustered linear mode here. You've got linear storms here, clustered messy storms here. You have rain showers out in front of the main cold front. So I don't think it will be a big day. This morning when I looked at the setup, I was like, "Holy crap, this is going to be a massive day." But now that you know we're about 12:50 p.m., you know, when the storms are definitely ongoing now, doesn't look that promising, which is good news. All it takes though is one discrete storm out here. If we just get one of these discrete storms that are currently rain showers to grow more upscale, then we could end up with that notable tornado threat, which is why we have that 10 sig in place. So you can see, like I said, these storms have entered that enhanced risk for severe weather. Another thing I want to note is if you're behind this, so if you're generally in like Wichita Falls or Oklahoma City, you guys are already safe from this this severe weather threat. Norman, your threat is technically over before it even begins, but you're still going to end up with some rain showers there in Norman. So the main area I'm still going to be watching is that southern edge right around here. The southern side of Oklahoma. South central Oklahoma, northeastern-ish Texas. Going up here towards Tulsa. Okay, we do still have just one tort possible severe right here, and I bet that's probably going to be removed in 9 minutes. I don't think they'll extend that. So like I said, these have just turned into a very linear wind threat as it goes up towards Tulsa, Oklahoma. So if you're in Tulsa, just make sure start getting ready now. Make sure things are tied down outside. Make sure your family knows that there's some severe storms that will move in about an hour, right about an hour from now. Very heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, damaging winds, small hail, and even potentially a spin-up tornado will all be a possibility. Nowhere in Arkansas is currently in an imminent threat, but yes, later down the line in far northwestern Arkansas, you will be in the middle of our threat for tornadoes. Probably, let me see. Like I said, our models are just not handling it well, so I'm trying to figure out when the best threat will be. I'd say probably 5 p.m. Central is when your main threat will begin to increase in northwest Arkansas. See you later again, Caleb. Let's see. Dew points aren't great. I mean, if you think high 60s and low 70 dew points aren't great, what the heck is great to you in early November? High 60s and low 70s is about as good as you're going to get in November. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, like Ben just said, those are even really good for spring. Definitely good dew points. Dew points are not a concern. Temperatures aren't a concern. It's really just lapse rates due to that cloud cover and the storm mode that's going to hold back today's threat. And those are two big things. You know, those aren't small things. Storm mode is literally one of the biggest factors in a severe threat, if not the biggest factor. That storm mode depends on your, you know, hazards depend on that storm mode. I lost my train of thought because Tornado Man said there's a tornado on the ground. And he's correct. He is indeed correct. We have an observed tornado. They're right. We do have a confirmed tornado now from weather spotters. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. If I had a bet on where here, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado 4 miles northeast of, let's see, moving northeast of 40 miles per hour. Okay, let's see. Give me just a moment. Okay. So about 4 miles to the north and east. So that's right about there. Go back a few scans. Okay, it might have been with that very small couplet there, but that's very difficult to tell. On radar, it doesn't look like it at all. Well, we do have probably a weak spin-up tornado here, just to the south and east of Paul's Valley, moving up northeast towards Stratford, that general area. Most likely somewhere in here we have a tornado. Because it was, let's see, let me look back on velocity. So yeah, it was with that area of rotation, and that's moved up to this area here. So make sure you are seeking shelter. That's our first, or actually second tornado of the day. Train spotters reported another tornado earlier today before we went live. And now we've got another confirmed tornado warning here. This is actually 2 confirmed tornado warnings. It's 2 different warnings, but for the same storm. Echo tops, we don't really need to worry about echo tops in this case, but I mean, echo tops are definitely up there. 40 plus 1,000 feet. I want to bring this up to the Tulsa radar site again. We're going to get another analysis radar, put that at Tulsa's radar site. Up here. Scanners say it's on the ground. Well, then it's on the ground. So, storm chasers definitely have reported a tornado here. Let's see. Oh, of course the weed whacker's on it. Why wouldn't he be? Let me go see what the weed whacker is saying. Make sure it's muted so I don't get copyrighted from Reed's feed. I wonder if he's the one who reported it, you know? Nah, he was too far away to be the one reporting it. Well, he's definitely on it, so if it's still on the ground, the weed whacker's going to see it, and he going to scream. Mainly damaging winds for you, Brooklyn. For sure, damaging winds will be possible. It's a pretty strong line that's moving right for, I mean, all of Tulsa. I'm pretty sure the whole city of Tulsa is going to end up in a severe warning here in the next hour. Because you've got this very large line that's moving right for Tulsa. I forgot to turn that down. That was my phone. Like I said, I mean, we hopped right on here. Right when those tornado warnings went out, I got on here as quick as I could. Okay, there we go. Now I won't be hearing that phone again. The tornado threat with them has gone down, Brooklyn. We could still see a spin-up tornado somewhere embedded in the line, most likely somewhere in here with that northern embedded supercell near Manford, Oklahoma right now. But the tornado threat has gone down. Yeah, we're going to lose our only possible severe on this in 1 minute. So, tornado threat is definitely lower up there in Tulsa. So, again, we do have a confirmed tornado. Tornadoes on the ground out here, southwest of Stratford, Oklahoma. The weed whacker's on it. He currently doesn't have a tornado on the ground, so he's on the north side. He is west of Stratford. He is right about here. Trying to look for the tornadoes south-southwest. Let's see. Yeah, it does look like he has got a wall cloud there, but I don't see a tornado, so it was observed. I don't think it's on the ground anymore, but better safe than sorry. You still want to be seeking shelter in Stratford. There was an observed tornado moments ago to your south and west, and it's moving northeast towards you. Okay, double check that it's muted. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we do have a video of it. I mean, this thing was like... This was a tiny tornado, man. It was a small tornado. I'd be shocked if that thing was on the ground for more than 10 seconds. It did not last long at all, most likely. We had a video of it, and I mean, you could barely even see it. So, pretty sure that this is not on the ground anymore, but still want to be in your safe spot, because it could very easily, and I mean very easily, recycle. Storms in this type of environment can quickly drop multiple tornadoes, so definitely want to be in your safe spot. For what, Caden? There's a lot of products on mesoanalysis. I can't just look at mesoanalysis and know what you're talking about exactly here. I want to go back down to this storm here. Yeah, so those storms in north central, kind of northeastern Texas, I don't know what you consider this. To me, this is north central Texas. You know, this is north central Texas, and here, and then you have northeastern Texas, east central Texas, southeastern Texas. Then this is all the panhandle. I consider this whole thing the panhandle. And then that's southwest Texas. And then, like I said, this is all central and eastern. So, to me, this is north central Texas. Just to the northwest of the DFW. Instability? Yeah, I've already seen it. I already know it's up to about 3,000 in eastern Oklahoma. But that won't matter if storms don't get there until, 8, 9 o'clock tonight. We do have some storms in that area, though. Be nice if we had a radar site right there, huh? I wonder if that's actually... That might actually be rotating. We don't have any good radar sites there. I guess Shreveport's is the best one, and we might have at least an upper level meso there in southwestern Arkansas. It'd be really nice if we got a radar site out here. You think the outbreak that happened 2 years ago would have promoted them to get a radar site, at least in this area. Because we're literally on the anniversary of the 2-year anniversary of our November 4th, 2022 outbreak. I'm sure most weather enthusiasts who track that remember it. It was quite the notable outbreak. These storms are going severe again in north central Texas. They are, or not again, but they're starting to go severe. We have 2 severes now in north central Texas. So I wonder if HRRR was correct here with these storms moving into Oklahoma and organizing quite quickly. Yeah, tornado threat's definitely low in Tulsa. Like I said, we could see a spin-up tornado somewhere in here. See these little tiny velocity couplets. We'll keep an eye on them. See if they try to spin up any more. But right now, it's still a very low tornado threat. Even though you have a 10 sig in place in Tulsa, it's low right now. Yeah, I don't think you'll see much either in St. Louis. Kind of the same as what you saw early Thursday morning. Just heavy rainfall in the morning hours of Tuesday this time, which is tomorrow. And really no tornado threat. I don't think you'll be seeing tornadoes out there. The only area that has a chance for tornadoes really in Missouri is this area in southwest Missouri. Even into that 5% chance there in the yellow, the tornado threat still goes down quite a bit overnight. All right, still observed on the southern polygon, which is why we're at our observed scene. They should change that pretty soon, so I'm going to try to pay attention to when they change that. That observed warning is in effect for just 8 more minutes and does still include this the town of Stratford, Oklahoma, which is that's east of Pauls Valley, Oklahoma. Let's see. Go to the 17Z HRRR. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, here comes a new tornado warning.
Warning for northeastern Garvin County in southern Oklahoma, southwestern Seminole County in east central Oklahoma, northwestern Pontotoc County in east central Oklahoma, south central Pottawatomie County in central Oklahoma, southeastern McLean County in central Oklahoma, Garvin, McLean, Pontotoc, Pottawatomie, and Seminole County in Oklahoma.
So that's a new tornado warning. That's your extension. Very messy velocity signatures there. Very, very messy. Not likely going to be able to make out what's happening there. But we have just a general area of rotation somewhere in here. Give me just a moment. All right. Hello, Proxy. Welcome to the stream. Still at an observed warning for the next 7 minutes here. Keep a pretty close eye on that CC because we could see a tornado drop again soon. That's definitely not the worst looking supercell. Pretty decent look to it. The only issue is I can't make out what's happening with that velocity signature. Just right now, it looks like a very, very broad area of rotation. I'm going to go back over here. Oops. Okay. So again, just make sure you are in your safe spot if you're in these tornado warnings. We're still now back to 3 tornado warnings. That won't last long because we're going to lose 2 here in 6 minutes. So that's good news. But I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully everyone's having a great day, and if you're in the risk area, you're staying hyper weather aware. Again, that primary tornado threat will most likely be from about 3 p.m. all the way to 8 p.m. or so Eastern time. And it will most likely be focused in probably the middle of that enhanced risk, just about in this region here. Right in that area will probably be your primary threat for tornadoes. Of course, that's going to push more eastward too, so we'll continue to watch it very, very closely. And so far, we've already seen 2 tornadoes, and it's just now past 1 p.m. So yeah, I would definitely be watching that northern side, still northwest of Tulsa, or actually dead west of Tulsa, for a spin-up tornado. If that continues its current trajectory, it's going to go just barely north and west of Tulsa. It would continue up like this. So that's going to be the area that I watch for spin-up tornado potential near Tulsa. You can see the little indent. See how you have a line that kind of goes like this, and then it bows out, and it goes back down. Then you have another bowing there, and then it goes back down. So you look at both of those bowing areas for tornado potential, because you can get inflow that goes around like this, inflow that goes around like this, and that can help rotate thunderstorms. Which that southern one does not have any velocity signature, which means it's probably not much to worry about. However, that northern one does have some velocity signatures with it, so we do want to monitor that. And it's been kind of off and on with that velocity signature. But that is how you get very brief and weak spin-up tornadoes, from tiny velocity signatures like that on the little bowing area of a QLCS. Getting a very large, broad area of rotation here. A very large weak, I should say. Very large weak area of rotation. We're no longer at an observed warning, which is good news. They just dropped that. Wonder how quickly that can strengthen, if it even can. It doesn't have much clear air. If there was more clearing, aka less precipitation in this area, it would have better inflow and thus a better and stronger area of rotation. But hopefully we continue to see those rain showers on the northern side of your hook. If we do that, we'll promote more of a, or I should say rather less of a tornado threat. All right, we should have gracious day. We already went through a whole hour that fast. Yeah, we should get a new meso analysis here in like 3 minutes. I wish I could like try to overlay all this stuff, because our most favorable environment here, it's let's see. It's right here. I'm looking on meso analysis right now. This is our best environment for tornadoes, right in far southeastern Oklahoma. The most likely reason for that is because we've had minimal precipitation in that area. We have had some, but minimal. We've had quite a lot of clearing, so it's allowing for its very slightly better lower level lapse rates in the area. But we're not getting anything in that region at the moment. You can see storms out here in Texas. Those are moving sharply northeast. These storms in central Oklahoma are moving northeast. These storms west of Tulsa are moving northeast. These prefrontals, are moving more northeast as well. So nothing's really getting in that environment yet. And by the time something gets in that environment, the environment might have actually decreased in favorability. It does seem like our storm that looked like it was rotating potentially out here in southwestern Arkansas has fallen apart very, very quickly. So that's good news. Probably thanks to those lower level lapse rates lacking out there. All right, so we're we're up to what, 5 severes? Yeah, 5 severes, 2 tornado warnings, which are both on the same storm. We'll be down to 1 tornado warning and 5 severes here in 1 minute. Waiting for that new meso analysis to come in. That's going to be 18Z. So we're just less than now 2 hours from getting the new SPC outlook. So that's the only good thing about fallback is we get everything an hour early. HRRR is an hour early. Outlooks are an hour early. Model runs are an hour early. Severe weather events can pop up an hour early. Everything can happen an hour early. All right, new mesoscale discussion. A line has developed across east of I-35 in central Oklahoma and is slowly drifting eastward. These storms are showing some signs of severe intensity and occasional rotation, but they are struggling to move ahead of the boundary. However, visible satellite shows signs of some development across the boundary across northern Texas into eastern Oklahoma. This development will likely cause a greater severe weather threat with the potential of several tornadoes, some of which may be strong through the afternoon hours. Currently, flow is out of the south to southwest across the warm sector, but is expected to back to 160, 170 by later this afternoon, with the deepening cyclone and strengthening lower level jet. Therefore, the greatest tornado risk will be with any discrete storms after 4 p.m. Eastern across eastern Oklahoma and northern Texas. So they say 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 hour, 1 hour later than what I was saying. So the SPC indeed does say the greatest tornado threat will be with these storms here as they move across north central Texas to eastern Oklahoma. And they said after 4 p.m. They said after 4 p.m. with any discrete storms. It's for almost the entire tornado watch, Brooklyn. Let's see if I can show it here. Yeah, there you go. It's for the entire tornado watch. But the most specific area is, like I said, north central Texas into eastern Oklahoma. Just out in front of these storms that are firing. So we'll continue to watch that closely. It's definitely, it looks like the biggest day, Marcus, but I don't know if the storm motion is, or the storm mode rather, is going to actually make it the biggest day. It's all going to come down to that storm mode. If we get discrete storms, then yeah, it's going to be the biggest day, but there's quite a big day there. You know, we had a big day, what was it, yesterday morning? I forgot exactly what morning it was, to be honest with you. I think it was early yesterday morning. So I don't know if we're going to beat that. I mean, that had, what, 12 tornadoes with 2 of them being EF3. So I don't know if we're going to be able to beat that. Yeah, Sunday morning. So yesterday morning. I was right. Not this morning. Yesterday morning. I think we had 11 tornadoes. The Norman confirmed 11 or 12. I'll have to go look at their Twitter. See what they said. Oh, is that the... Let's see. Yeah, that tornado that formed earlier was a very small tornado. The tiniest tornado. It was actually difficult to see it just because of how small it was. So, some chaser was in the exact position to be just out in front of all the rain and precipitation to the point where they were in the perfect angle to see that small, tiny tornado. Okay, yep, we'll probably see a tornado warning pretty soon here. for Sperry, north of Tulsa. So hopefully you don't live out here, Brooklyn, because we'll probably end up with a tornado warning shortly in this area. That is definitely beginning to rotate. So the area we called out probably about 10 minutes ago is actually strengthened quite significantly to the point where there is a really good couplet that could actually produce a tornado at any moment. We could actually see a tornado out of that at any moment going towards Sperry, Oklahoma. That's just north of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So if I'm in Sperry, Oklahoma, personally, even though there's no tornado warning, I would be seeking shelter. It is now TOR possible, so that's a good call from the National Weather Service in Tulsa. So what that means is a TOR possible severe means you need to be away from doors and windows and very close to your safe spot, because we could see a tornado warning come out shortly, and I wouldn't be shocked to see one very, very, very soon. We're definitely going to pay a very close attention to that on the next scan, because that's very much capable of producing a tornado. Very large area of rotation for a tornado warning south, or rather in and southeast of Asher, Oklahoma. We got a big supercell. Big hook echo, man. That's a big hook. But I'm gonna stay with this one in Sperry, Oklahoma, because I feel like that could produce at any moment. You're south of Tulsa. That's good. The more south you are, the better opportunity you have to be missed by all of this. If you're like south of Broken Arrow, you're probably not going to get much. You know, if you're in like closer to Glenpool, then you probably won't see a whole lot out of this line. The more south you are, the less you're probably going to get out of this. I think that's your new scan. It indeed is. And you can see that's a good couplet. You have pretty strong inflow. Pretty strong inbound wind speeds here. So that's winds going away from the radar. Away from the radar. And our radar is positioned, I believe, in Tulsa, right? Okay, just east of Tulsa. So that's winds going away from your radar, which means this is your inflow. This is winds going towards your radar. Just like that. So you have pretty good rotation right there southwest of Sperry, Oklahoma. And we could end up seeing the exact same thing up here northwest of Sperry, Oklahoma. It's not as definitive as this one here. Let me draw a little bit clearer here. See how these outbound winds are going more like this? And then your inbound winds are going like this. Whereas down here, oh, here comes that warning.
Tornado warning for
outbounds are like this.
southeastern Osage County in northeastern Oklahoma, south central Washington County in northeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Tulsa County in northeastern Oklahoma, Osage, Tulsa, and Washington County in Oklahoma.
So there you go. Tornado warning was just put out now for Sperry, Oklahoma. So now you need to be seeking shelter. That is an official tornado warning. So make sure you're running to your safe spot now, as that is indeed capable of producing a tornado. That northern area, so exactly what I was explaining. Let me, dang it, I just took it off. So like I was saying, those outbound winds, you can see they're moving more like this, and your inbounds are moving like this. So your inbound wind speeds are favorable for a tornado to develop in this area, but your outbound wind speeds are zooming right by. So they're not actually curving around and getting that mesocyclone to rotate. Whereas further south, where our tornado warning is, you can see those outbound wind speeds are curving into the storm, and your inbounds are curving into that storm as well. So that allows for rotation in the atmosphere. So this one, right now, at this moment, it could change very, very soon. But this one doesn't favor a tornado, whereas this one does. So I would definitely still keep an eye on this, because it could produce very much, very soon. But yeah, I see the inbounds just fell apart too, so that's good. This is most likely more of a wind threat, whereas this could still produce a tornado. So we're going to keep an eye on that one. We'll see what the next scan has there for Sperry, Oklahoma, but you can see those outbound wind speeds did back off just a little bit. So, still could produce a tornado. We'll keep a very, very close eye on that for sure. Broad area rotation is beginning to weaken out here, southeast of Asher, Oklahoma. That's southeast of Pearson, Oklahoma. Make sure you're still in your safe spot, but that still looks like it's weakening. It still has a good supercell shape to it, though. We could probably see that from not too well on ZDR. You can see that's really fallen apart on ZDR now, which is good. I want to go down to Texas here. Not really concerned about those storms yet. These will be the storms that we watch closer to like 3, 4 p.m. and afterwards. As they slowly drift north and northeastward. I want to go over here. Yeah, these are in the best environment still, but I don't feel like they're actually going to be able to do anything. But they are in the best environment. So we'll just still watch them. We're going to be watching absolutely everything in the risk area. All right, let's go back to our storm up here. We'll go back down to this storm again. And now we're going to stay with the one in Tulsa. Okay, that's good. So see how your outbound winds completely backed out there? Now your outbound winds are looking exactly the same as the one further north. Still could produce a tornado, but the rotation's definitely weakening. All right, see you later for the 4th time, Caleb. He's in school, so every time he gets a break, he comes right back in. Oops. I mean, that's still close. Those red and greens are still close. As long as they stay close like that, we're going to need to watch it closely. So until those green and reds break off, we're still going to watch that area of interest. Okay. We're waiting for the next scan here, which will hopefully be in about 21 seconds. We'll be able to see if there's a signature here that may indicate a tornado ongoing. Remember, a tornado warning means a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. So just make sure you are in your safe spot if you're in any tornado warning, which currently we have 2 tornado warnings active. One of those is obviously the one you're looking at here in Sperry and Collinsville, Oklahoma. And then the other one is further to the south out here, southeast of Pearson, Oklahoma. Neither of these are observed, but they could produce tornadoes quickly. All right, that's hopefully a good sign there. We'll see what the velocity signatures say, but that looks more outflow dominant on reflectivity. I'm going to go back over here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that northern one did tighten up just a little bit there. You can see that red and green is closer again. But it did begin to go more outflow dominant. Especially the southern one. You can see how this looks more like a line now. So we're gonna monitor that northern tip right here as it moves to the northeast, and still monitor that one that's the reason for your tornado warning back out here. Those are your two areas of rotation we're watching north of Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right, let's go back towards this storm. Yeah, that is weakened again for like the... I don't even know how many times this storm cycled. This thing's been warned ever since we started this stream almost 2 hours ago, and it's still warned. You missed a tornado warning up here north of Tulsa. Well, you didn't really miss it completely, but you missed when it got issued. And not really much has happened since then. It's still just watching and waiting. So still monitoring, like I said, both of those areas of rotation as they're moving up to the north and east. We'll just see how that plays out on the next scan. Small CC northwest of Sperry, latest scan. If velocity matches up, next scan it might be on the ground. Where? I definitely don't see any notable debris signatures anywhere. Unless you were talking about that, but that's corruption. You can see that's part of, it might just be part of winds or simply just corruption out in front of the line. Yeah, that's gone a lot more outflow dominant, which is good. Still little areas of rotation embedded there. I mean, you could still see we have quite a bit of green going towards the radar like this. And then red's going away from the radar. Well, towards would be this way. So we have winds going towards the radar site and winds going away from the radar site. So could be rotating. And it's still in the tornado warned area, which means you need to be seeking shelter if you're in that tornado warning. Well, we got a very messy patch of rain showers here. It seems like that's what some people believe could be our main event. These patchy rain showers that are slowly drifting northeastward here. We'll see. They are prefrontals, so they may have a chance. All right, this thing's still dying out here. I'd love to see that go unwarned now, thanks to it starting to die out. Why is our reflectivity not updated there? So hopefully they drop this tornado warning in 12 minutes. Let's hope that it stays inactive there and we don't see any new areas of rotation try to develop. And then finally, that will be warningless for the first time in 2 hours. Is that our new scan? Okay. You know what? We might be seeing the same thing happening now back up here. Look at those velocity signatures, which not too close, right? But then look at the reflectivity. You can see that clear air slot out in front. So still definitely want to watch this. We've got this general area of rotating thunderstorms as they're moving up to the northeast, barely off to the northwest of Collinsville, Oklahoma. If that gets any stronger, we may see a new tornado warning come out for that area, just north of the current tornado warning. Our next SPC update will be in about an hour and 26 minutes here, 3 p.m. Eastern. Is that your new scan? Well, on that new scan, everything weakened, so that's good. Hopefully we continue with that trend. How long does that warning go for? 25 more minutes. And this one goes for like, yeah, 10. That's what I thought. So with these storms here, I feel like that line's just going to catch up with them and cluster them all up together. And then we're just going to have a big mess here. So I'm not too confident in that being the biggest tornado producer today. I mean, geez, it's just so difficult to predict exactly where that greatest opportunity will be. Let's see. I mean, right now they're still very clustered up, so we're just going to monitor them closely. And we'll see. Let me go this way. Yeah, if the sun's coming out, that's probably indicating, you know, that you're going to start seeing more destabilization wherever you are. You said you were in Webb City, Missouri. Let me see where that is. In some areas, it may not matter. Yeah, in this area, it is going to matter because there's a chance you get some storms before the sun completely sets. So if you keep seeing that that sun, then you're going to end up with better instability. And that could promote stronger storms. Oh, wow, they shrunk that tornado warning a lot, didn't they? Look at that. They really shrunk that tornado warning. They shrunk it to that tiny little area I was talking about. It went from this big warned area to that tiny little tornado warning. So that small little area of rotation right in here is what the National Weather Service is watching. It is beginning to leave the warned area, but we probably won't see a new warning unless it strengthens on the next few scans. Maybe a tornado, man, maybe. But we'll see how that progresses. I think that's where most chasers are probably going to end up going. Probably going to end up going just out in front of this somewhere like in here. So as these move up to the northeast, you know, they'd strengthen before they get to where the chasers are. So I don't know where I would even chase, honestly. If I were chasing today, I have no idea where I'd be going. So again, just monitoring that tornado warning north of Tulsa. If you're anywhere else in these severe warnings, the main threat is definitely damaging winds with an isolated, very small hailstone being possible. So if you are not in that tornado warning, but you are in the severe warning, you want to be indoors away from doors and windows. If you're inside that tornado warning, which just got expanded, make sure you are in your safe spot.
Northeastern Oklahoma, southern Washington County in northeastern Oklahoma, southwestern Nowata County in northeastern Oklahoma, north central Tulsa County in northeastern Oklahoma, Nowata, Rogers, Tulsa, and Washington County in Oklahoma.
Oh,
Tornado warning for Central Seminole County in east central Oklahoma,
wasn't expecting another one.
Seminole County in Oklahoma.
That's our southern storm here. Interesting choice to continue that one. Gotta say. That's a pretty interesting choice. Quite surprised they extended that. Let's see if I can go over here really quick. We do have some cameras in Tulsa, so I'm trying to see if we can get a good view of this storm. At least the line that's moving into Tulsa. Probably won't. Yeah, we definitely won't get a camera view of the tornado warning, but if we could get a view of the southern storm, that'd be better than nothing. I don't really see any good views here. You can see dark clouds, but there's no cloud structures on it. At least on our cameras, because most of our cameras are pointing at the roads, not at the sky. Alright, so the reason for that new tornado warning was this very broad area of rotation. You can see this large, broad region of rotation. A lot of reds going like this and a lot of greens going like this. So we could quickly see an area of rotation spin up anywhere in between that. Which is why the National Weather Service in Tulsa went ahead and issued that new warning. So just make sure you are still staying in your safe spot. Okay. I'm going to go check this really quick. So we're going to keep watching it, like I said. I think we're going to put this into a 2-part live stream so I can go do something for a little while. We'll come back here, not that long. Hopefully I don't miss anything, but right now it's really just this is the main storm to watch. The one south, this one here is doing nothing. These storms will take a while to get going, so I think I'm going to go do a few things and then jump back on here later on today. And I'm planning to come back on, so expect me to be back. I don't know if I'll schedule the stream before or after I end. I guess right after I end, I'll schedule a stream directly after I end. So after this ends, you guys can chat in there, and you can, let each other know what's happening there. So we're gonna conclude here pretty soon, but like I said, I will be back. It's just I'm gonna give this some time to increase in strength and intensity, and then we'll come back. Ooh. Ooh. That's gotten pretty strong, though. Yeah, we definitely could see a spin-up tornado out of this. I'll see what it shows on the next scan here. You might be able to, Brooklyn. Yeah, you might be able to. So pretty, actually, okay. We're staying. That's gotten pretty strong. I don't want to end and then boom, we get a strong tornado. So, yeah, we're gonna stay here. We could see a strong tornado spin up. Why does my reflectivity not want to update, huh? Close you out, Radar Mega. How about that? Take that. Take that. You don't want to update? I'll close you out. It still doesn't want to update. This is why GR2 is better. Oh my goodness, yeah. We probably have a tornado down north of Tulsa. Most likely we have a tornado on the ground north of Tulsa here. I don't know that there's not really many towns to say, nor towns I can pronounce, but that is a very strong area of rotation and is most likely down. I will be able to confirm next scan, but I would definitely say that is the strongest goblet we've seen today. And maybe even on the ground here. Okay, there it goes. So if that's a cell merge right there. That is actually a cell merge, which might have helped increase that area of rotation. So that's going to merge into the base of the supercell. And once that happens, which will be next scan, this is probably going to put down a tornado. If not, it's already putting down a tornado, and we're just having to wait for the next scan here. So make sure you are in your safe spot if you're in either one of these tornado warnings. The other one is back down here for Seminole, Oklahoma. It doesn't look nearly as impressive as this northern one. I personally, I don't even know why the one in Seminole, Oklahoma is warned. It does not look tornadic at all anymore. But this one north of Tulsa, I'm telling you, it could very easily have a tornado on the ground. We hit our like goal of 50 likes, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. It's greatly appreciated. Let's see. Well, no CC yet. I am a little surprised. That is very strong rotation. We are likely at 100-mile-an-hour rotation right here. So that is extremely intense. You have winds rapidly going into the supercell and then rapidly moving away from the supercell here, and it's causing a very strong area of rapid rotation right in the middle. And you can see the indent. You can see this nice clear air slot all in here. So it has a lot of inflow that could easily go into the storm and continue to fuel it. And then you can see that little notch at the bottom. So right at that notching, right where that clear slot, or right where the edge of your main supercell ends, which is right there, and right at that notch, that's where your area of rotation is, and that's moving up to the north and east. And that is quite the classic supercell too. You can definitely draw a near classic supercell there. Let me move it up a little more. Right there. No debris signature yet. It's breaking on Radar Omega now. The velocities are so strong. Radar Omega gives up there. Radar Omega just gave up on detecting velocities, and we got a new severe in Oklahoma. That's for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. We're going to stay on that CC because I'm pretty confident we'll see that at any second. Hold on. Let's go check this over here. Okay. I don't think that's a CC drop yet, by the way. I don't think that's a CC drop just yet. See, that would have been my luck. I was getting ready to end, and if we ended when I said so, we'd end in about 30 seconds. Okay, I know of another chaser who's on this. Let's see what he has. There we go. Waiting. I'm just waiting for that debris signature. Okay, I don't see a tornado yet on his feed, but he's not very close to the storm yet. Is that going to be... Okay, not yet. Still not yet. I'm pretty surprised that we haven't seen a CC drop on this. I'm not even going to lie. I'm very surprised. But we could easily have a weaker tornado that may be on the ground and it's not lifting up enough debris to be picked up on radar. So keep that in mind. In order for radar to pick up debris, that debris has to be lofted, in this case, almost 2,000 feet up for our radar site to see it. So the tornado already has to be, decently intense in order for it to pick up on radar. And there has to be enough debris for it to pick up for the radar to see as well. Wow. Wow. I would be shocked. Man, I'm shocked that that's not on the ground. We're now at red inrot there, which means it is an intense area of rotation, likely near or over 100 miles per hour. So this one might have dropped soon. Or might have dropped. Let's see. No signatures on radar, but, it could easily go under the radar site. Geez, that is an extremely intense area of rotation. Now you have wind streaming in at about, on this area here, these yellows, that's about 70 to 80 mile an hour inflow. So you have winds absolutely soaring into the supercell, and then you have winds going away from that radar site into the storm as well. Technically towards the radar site, but also, away from the supercell is what I meant to say. Because these are going towards the radar site and away from the supercell. These are going into the supercell away from the radar site. This could break apart next scan, though, just based on how it looks like on reflectivity. They could either break apart or intensify really rapidly on the next scan. We'll see. It's going to go one way or the other. Well, it kind of went... kind of weakened. Looks like it weakened. Yeah, it weakened. It definitely weakened. But it's still right there at a pretty strong area of rotation. But you can see that red Enrot did disappear. So it got very close to producing a tornado, if not did. Jeez. Didn't see a shelf cloud from your house. Yeah, I mean, it depends on exactly where you are. You have to be at the right spot, looking in the right area to see a shelf. I don't see a CC yet. Both of those are contamination. Go back up here. Oh, oh boy. Is that the new scan? If it is, that is the new scan, and it's right back up to really intense again. Wait for your new scan in 10 seconds here. There goes one bottle of water. I try to drink one bottle of water every 2 hours, so I'm averaging it correctly. Okay, our radar decided not to update there. Interesting. But we definitely have a stronger area of rotation than the last scan. Very, very strong. That reflectivity is not fully up to date. It is about 2 minutes, 30 seconds behind or so. About 2 minutes behind. 2, 1, and update. Dang, GR2. Radar Omega's beating you on this one. Yeah. I'll give it another 30 seconds. If it doesn't work, then I will refresh the program. All right, Chaser. The Chaser I'm watching doesn't have a tornado yet, but it is a very, very large supercell. But he might just not be in the right angle. You know, in order to see a tornado, especially if it's HP, you got to be in the right angle there. It's definitely not the strongest it's been. I don't know. It's right there with it still, actually. It's about 110 mile an hour rotation. That might be the strongest scan yet. Because this was about 670 and 40, so that's 110. And then this is now about 84 and 30, so it's about as tense as the last scan. About as intense as the last scan there. So still could drop a tornado. Could drop a strong tornado as it moves up to the northeast here. We'll see if it succeeds with that. Let's see. Cromwell, Oklahoma, you still need to be seeking shelter, although I don't see much of a definitive area rotation with your storm. You're still in that tornado warning, so seek shelter. We got a severe warning outside of our watch area. And the velocities are like 20-some minutes old. So that could be even rotating there. Maybe some very small rotation south of Morgan, Texas. Currently warned for 1-inch hail, 60 mile an hour winds. I am actually shocked we haven't seen a debris signature. I'm actually shocked. Now we're on like 5 or 6 scans of a strong rotation, and it still hasn't dropped anything. At least according to radar, and I'm very surprised. That looks like that looks like hail, or just simply corruption. Tornado warning is obviously extended. I'm not surprised by that. So that's going to go into Nawada? Maybe I said that right. Nawada, or is it Nawada? Either way, I guess. Jeez, it got even stronger.
Tornado warning for northwestern Rogers County in northeastern Oklahoma, southern Washington County in northeastern Oklahoma, southern Nowata County in northeastern Oklahoma, Nowata, Rogers, and
Nawada.
Washington County in Oklahoma.
Nawada. Got it. At least according to the robot voice. Nawada. That should be easy. I'll remember that for 2 minutes as well. Let me check this really quick. Okay. So just make sure, like I said, make sure you are in your safe spot. If you're in that tornado warning, it's going right for Nowata, Oklahoma. I'm still shocked. I mean, look at that. That is a very, very strong area of rotation. I'm still shocked that hasn't dropped. Ooh. You know what? That might be okay. That might be a donut there. Yeah, that's a donut. So basically the winds are so intense now that they've wrapped rain across the entire mesocyclone just like this. And your tornado is dead center right there. I'm do we not have like much to Oh, it's over a field. That might be the reason why we're not seeing any debris. So this is a rain wrapped, probably a strong tornado near, if not on the ground. And no chasers are going to be able to see it. There's no debris for it to pick up. So I would be blown away if this isn't on the ground. It's not confirmed yet, and chasers haven't reported it. But I would be shocked if it's not on the ground. So you need to seek shelter. If you are in Nawada, we most likely have an imminent strong tornado, or there is a strong tornado on the ground heading your way. Remember, a tornado warning means a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. So there may not be anything for this to pick up if it's on the ground. That's in. Oh, well, there you go. We are now at a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. So there you go. This is an observed PDS tornado warning. Seek shelter immediately. Weather spotters confirmed a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground heading towards Nottawa. Nawada. What the heck did I say? Nawada. So that is a PDS tornado warning. First one of the day. I was pretty sure it was on the ground. I was pretty sure too. Let me go over here. So that's just to the north and east of Tulsa. Wow. That is a big area of rotation. Let's see if this chaser's on it. The chaser I was watching went south, so he's not even on it anymore. I don't know a single chaser on this storm. Yeah, I don't know a single chaser on this storm here. Wow. So there you go. And that's probably still not your CC drop. Your tornado is probably located, based on these scans here, it's located just about in this area. So I doubt that's a CC drop still. So strong tornado is ongoing here now, south and west of Nawada. Make sure you are in your safe spot. So again, this is a PDS tornado warning. That means it is a particularly dangerous situation tornado warning. That means it's a confirmed large and extremely dangerous and life-threatening tornado. So you need to be seeking shelter immediately if you are in that warned area. Waiting for a new scan here. And it's probably a very large tornado. Look at that couplet. You've got a very large area of inflow there. And then a very large area of outflow. This is probably a very large tornado. It's definitely difficult to tell just from radar. But that velocity couplet is very big. It is a very big velocity couplet. We're going to go down south for just a little bit. Yeah. Looks like they're going to let that tornado warning drop here in 11 minutes for the Cromwell area. We'll go back over here. Just going to wait for that new scan. That's what we're waiting for. Oh, there it is. So still, well, that has definitely weakened, but we still have a very, very well-defined area of rotation, but that definitely weakened on the newest scan. Definitely weakened a lot on the last 3 scans there. I'm going to go over here once again. So again, just make sure you are seeking shelter. If you're in that PDS warning, this is in northeastern Oklahoma. This is a PDS, particularly dangerous situation, tornado warning. Give me just a moment. And that is an observed PDS tornado warning, of course. So, again, weather spotters have confirmed a large tornadoes on the ground here. Although I don't know who confirmed it because I haven't seen anyone there. And now, there you go. We're back down to a normal radar-indicated warning. So it did weaken. There you go. So now weather spotters have probably confirmed that it's lifted. Let's see if the National Weather Service says anything about that. But good news is it's probably lifted now. Okay, let me go back over here. I know why. It's because he did caps for one full message. And then another full message. And then he put a bunch of dots. So Nightbot got him for those 3 violations. Yeah, it's no longer PDS now, which is good news. Here comes a new warning, though. And I don't actually know where this will be.
Tornado warning for
Texas?
southwestern Logan County in western Arkansas,
Oh,
north central
that
Scott
one.
County in western Arkansas, Logan, and Scott County in Arkansas.
Dang! Okay, that might actually be on the ground. Hold on, let's get an analysis radar over there. Let's go and get a analysis radar on the Fort Smith radar site here. See if that has a debris signature. Okay, good news, it does not. But that could be on the ground there, south of Booneville, Arkansas. The reason why I said it could be on the ground is because I saw that, oh, actually, give me a second. Give me just a moment. Okay, so, yeah, the reason why I thought it was on the ground originally is because of that hook. Well, now that hook's well more definitive. But, yeah, there was a CC signature there. But good news is that is corruption. So we're going to keep watching that. So we're now up to 3 warnings. Man, I was hoping we'd get down to maybe just 1 or 0. That would have been better. But we did get down to 2 for about 1 minute there, and then we got our one out here in west central Oklahoma. And we're probably going to get an extension to this tornado warning here. You can see the curvature on this storm. and probably a little area of rotation here inside this severe warning now. Definitely not strong rotation by any means. Nothing like what we had for that PDS warning 10 minutes ago, but some better rotation starting to get organized here. Southwest of Castle in Oklahoma. And that is northeast of Cromwell, Oklahoma. Just a little area of rotation for the moment. We'll see if that gets its act together or if it just dies out. Let's see here. Okay. Still a little area of rotation here with this storm south of Fort Worth, Texas. Just a little broad area of rotation, nothing concerning. And this storm over Fort Worth isn't doing much either. Okay, we are now down to 2 tornado warnings again. They did cancel this one up here. But like I said, we could see a new one come through if that area of weak rotation increases in velocities or not. Right now, it has a little bit more of an outflow dominant look to it, but if it can get that that more curvature look to it, then it could quickly try and increase in velocities here. Back up to our other tornado warning. Still pretty strong area of inbound wind speeds here. Trying to increase in rotation. You can actually see the rain wrapping around the entire mesocyclone here, south of Nowata, Oklahoma. You can see that rain wrapping around like this. So it is definitely still rotating. And if we do see another tornado develop, it will be just to the south of Nowata, Oklahoma, moving up to the north and east. So we'll continue to monitor that. See what that new scan has. No CC drop still, which is great news. Unfortunately, though, we do know that it did touch down because a chaser confirmed it. Which is something I was talking about earlier. You know, radars aren't going to pick up every single tornado. If there's if a tornado's in the middle of a field picking up some dirt, radar's not going to pick that up at all. New mesoscale discussion. This includes the Dallas area and Fort Worth, Texas. A corridor of higher severe and tornado potential may be evolving across northern Texas, including the Denton, Dallas, and Fort Worth area. That might actually be just to the east of Fort Worth. Let's go check. Okay, yeah, that is actually, that does include Fort Worth. It was hard to tell from the map I was looking at, but that indeed does include Fort Worth. So this discrete supercell is probably going to become an issue as it goes into Dallas. So Dallas, you guys need to be preparing for some damaging winds, large hail, and even a tornado could be possible in about an hour from now. So make sure you are, you know, just... Oh, hold on. Just make sure that you are tying things down outside. Make sure your family knows that you're about to get some severe weather out there in Dallas. That will be probably close to about 3:15 p.m. Eastern. About an hour from now. So good news, this one in Arkansas probably didn't produce. If it did, it was over just trees. So that's good news. But I don't see any like notable debris signature, so it probably didn't produce. If it did, it was weak, brief, and most likely did not do much. We're going to take this down to the Fort Worth because we're getting a good area of rotation here. Let's see. Might be easier to see from this radar site. Definitely not. Okay, I don't see much rotation with that yet. So we'll keep watching it. Okay, there's a good area of rotation. That's near Jefferson, Texas. So that's for Jefferson, East Central, Northeastern Texas there. Little area of rotation there. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on all these storms here. I'm just going through checking every storm because we haven't looked through them in a little while. Oh, well, there's another one. Let's see with this velocity. That's a very weak couplet, though. What about oh, well, there's another one. Northwestern Arkansas. Very small couplet there. So there's a few little areas of rotation to watch here that aren't warned. They're not warned currently because they're not strong enough for a warning. But we could see warnings come out for a few of those little storms. One is out here, like I said, Jefferson, Texas. Another one is very, very weak, but we'll still watch it. Southwest of Black Springs, Arkansas. And then another one east of Springdale, Arkansas as well. And then later, about an hour from now or so, we'll probably be watching this storm very closely as it goes towards Dallas. Like I said, an hour from now. So we're getting a lot more prefrontal discrete supercell action now. We'll see if any of those storms can actually sustain to try and produce tornadoes or not. We're going to go back up to our Tulsa, north of Tulsa. So Tulsa radar site, but the storm's north of Tulsa, where we have another little area of rotation getting some, getting its act together here northeast of, forgot how to pronounce it, Nawada. Is it Nawada? I forgot how to pronounce it. Northeast of Nawada, Oklahoma, where we have a little area of rotation there. New mesoscale discussion and a tornado watch will be issued shortly. That is going to be for, I know for a fact we have somebody over there. Kevin, I think that's you. Maybe. Are you inside that yellow area there? I'll draw it in white for you, this whole area here. I believe you are inside that. There is an 80% chance for a mesoscale discussion, or rather, there's a mesoscale discussion that has an 80% chance for a tornado watch to come out within the next hour or so. Any mature supercells which develop along the line or ahead of the line could pose a tornado threat given the lower level wind shear, which is expected to improve through the evening. So a tornado watch is likely for this area. Severe weather threat rapidly increasing. That's what the SPC says there. So we'll be watching that closely as well. But hopefully not much happens in that area. And there is a chance that, all it takes is we just simply don't see storms in that area, and then you're good. But we're going to watch a couple of these prefrontals as they move up to the northeast and may try to produce tornadoes in an hour or so. Well, let's see how these storms are doing that the HRRR wanted to produce tornadoes. I mean, they look terrible right now. They literally look horrific. So glad to see the HRRR is wrong yet again. Looks like our primary severe threat and tornado threat is really shifted out of, well, oh my goodness. Might need some stronger glasses there, but I'm pretty sure that says 94-mile-per-hour winds. That is, did we have a mesonet hit by a tornado? Dude. Hold on. Give me this. My reports aren't showing up on here for some reason. There. So that's the inflow. That is the inflow. Remember, we were talking about rapid inflow into this the supercell. That rapid inflow led to 94 mph winds recorded there from a mesonet, with an observed pressure drop too. So that is either on the outer edge of a tornado, or that mesonet was literally hit by a tornado. Wow. That is something. Let me go over here. Let's see. I want to see if we have anything in our winter storm warnings. I just want to look for some snow. We got some snow out here. Oh, yeah, we actually have blizzard warnings in effect in Montana. I believe those were issued yesterday, so we do have a bit of snow from this system. The reason why I wanted to check over here is because I do remember seeing some model runs that had snow in the area. It looks like that is happening. We're seeing some snow in the higher elevations in New Mexico. But let's go back over to our tornado warnings here. We'll probably see an expansion to that tornado warning storm. But we'll see. I believe we have one tornado warning that remains, which is good. That is really, really good. Just one tornado warning. I'd like to have 0, but 1 is better than 5. So we'll keep an eye on all these areas for tornado potential here. All right, we'll see how this all looks in 30 minutes, and if I can, I'll take a break. If not, then we'll just stay here. Let's see. That HRR is taking forever to render in completely. So that's 3 p.m. The HRR is not too far off. So, like I said, the SPC thinks that the greatest tornado threat will be just after 21Z, which is 4 p.m. Eastern time. Let's see. The SPC also noted the potential for a strong tornado over the next 2 hours. That's going to be till 4 p.m. Eastern. So over the next hour and 40-ish minutes or so, we will have the risk for a strong tornado with this storm here as it goes towards Dallas. Right now, it's not doing so well, so hopefully that continues. That would be absolutely fantastic. That doesn't look all that well either, so there's a chance that we are tornado warning list in 7 minutes. Let's keep our fingers crossed, hope that happens. Because they haven't expired it yet, or not expired, but extended it. They haven't extended it yet. Let me go back here. I'm just looking for ingredients and seeing where our greatest severe threat may be. Because like I said, models are really useless and we should have a new meso analysis now, so that's good. Yeah, really still looking at this area here. This whole area here is still really favorable. Will it be able to do something or not? I guess we'll find out eventually. Hopefully those lower level lapse rates can keep these storms at bay, and then we'll end up with a minimal tornado threat. But we already saw one PDS tornado warning. The good news is I don't believe it hit many areas at all, so the likelihood of that achieving, a rating of a significant tornado EF2 plus is probably very low, considering we saw minimal debris on radar. So thankfully, it seems like that occurred literally over a field, which we got very lucky if that's the case. So hopefully everybody's okay. But if we go back here, you'll see it occurred over a field. There was some homes, so hopefully they're all right. Hopefully the tornado missed those houses. I mean, that report is right near some homes there, and we are getting a new tornado warning right now. You'll hear that beep at any second. If I had to bet, it's probably an extension to this one. We were 5 minutes away from going tornado warningless.
Tornado
Northeast
warning
Oklahoma.
for East Central Cole County in southeastern Oklahoma, North
Oh.
Central Atoka County in southeastern Oklahoma, Atoka, and Cole County in Oklahoma.
Well, that's interesting. Southeastern Oklahoma, you say? Yeah, that is indeed rotating. A little bit of rotation right there in Stringtown, Oklahoma. I was definitely not expecting to hear a tornado warning come out from that area. So make sure you guys are in your safe spot. If anything were to produce a strong tornado in Oklahoma, it would be these. It would definitely be these. Prefrontal. Exactly. Hopefully that lower level lapse rates can keep them at bay, though. But the problem is it's already an established supercell. That's the problem. With echo tops into 41,000 feet up in the atmosphere. That's the issue. See, if it was just getting going, it wouldn't be much of a concern, but this storm came from all the way in Texas. From that cluster we were talking about maybe 30, 40 minutes ago, and it moved all the way up northeast. So see how long it took? That's the problem, is that it had all that time to strengthen, so it's already strong. If it just fired, like, say, I don't know, this rainstorm here near Red Oak, it would have just died off like that. See that? It would have just died off because of the lower level lapse rates. But nope. It formed in Texas and moved all the way over here into southeastern Oklahoma. So it will definitely have a chance to produce a tornado. Hence why it is indeed tornado warned. Looks like they're going to let that expire in 3 minutes due to this looking more linear. You could see still an embedded supercell there, but overall you do have more of a linear look throughout this whole line now as it's exiting eastern Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let me go see real quick. Give me just a moment. Okay. Like he just texted me no on my phone for some reason. I got very distracted. Normally I don't get text messages on my phone from him, so I wanted to see what it was. He just texted me no. That's lucky for you. But yeah, we do have a tornado warning out here in Stringtown, Oklahoma. Make sure you're seeking shelter. I am quite a bit concerned about that. It's a prefrontal storm, so definitely want to watch that as it moves up to the northeast. More text messages. Okay. That is a radar indicated tornado warning. Again, a radar indicated tornado warning means a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. I want to go back and check this storm here, see if it's dying out. Well, here comes a new tornado warning. And it is an extension for 46 more minutes there in northeast Oklahoma.
Tornado warning for northern Craig County in northeastern Oklahoma, east central Nowata County in northeastern Oklahoma, Craig, and Nowata County in Oklahoma.
What I think about the storms in Texas. At the moment, the only one I'm worried about is this one here as it goes into Dallas and potentially eastern Fort Worth. The SBC noted it has the chance to produce a strong tornado, but as you see there, it now just went sub-severe, so it's not holding on too well. It's looking pretty good for Texas in terms of a minimal severe threat. The one I'm watching closest, though, is definitely the one that's going to head towards Dallas, maybe Fort Worth in about 40 minutes or so. Yay, SBC update in 30 minutes. I don't think we'll see much change. I don't think we'll end up with a moderate risk. So, good call on the SBC for keeping it at a enhanced risk. It seems like, for the moment, it's verifying as an enhanced. Okay, we actually did get a, oh geez, what did we get? Yeah, a new tornado watch. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Tornado watch was just issued. That includes Fort Smith, Boonville, Clarksville, Ozarks, Fayetteville, Huntsville, Berryville, Russellville. Why is there so many villes in Arkansas? Also includes Joplin, Lamar, Greenfield, Springfield, Branson, Anderson, Classville in southwestern Missouri, and Pittsburgh in southeastern Kansas. Another thing I wanted to check is, yeah, our PDS warning was actually outside the enhanced risk today. It was inside the 5% tornado risk. A new MCD, which means mesoscale discussion. So for this small area here in and around the Texarkana area, the tornado threat is gradually increasing. 60% chance for a tornado watch, but the timing for a watch is uncertain for the Texarkana area. So they may issue a watch here, a very small watch that goes into Longview, Texas, Texarkana, Nashville, Arkansas. There's a 60% chance we see that in the next hour or two. I don't think we'll end up seeing that, but if we see tornado warnings issued for this storm here, they might pull that trigger. And I want to go check that storm again. It doesn't look the worst still. I'm still going to keep an eye on it. Thankfully, the one in Berryville, Arkansas looks to have died out now. At least for now. Hopefully it continues to downtrend there and weaken. Just checking all of our storms again because we got new scans on most of our radar sites. But yeah, now we're starting to get into a radar hole. Our primary storms are in a radar hole, but they'll be moving northeastward, so we'll be able to see them a bit better with these 3 radar sites. But still, they're going to be inside that radar hole. There's a wall cloud right now near Colgate by a storm chaser. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's our tornado warning storm. You are still in the risk for a brief spin-up tornado, damaging winds and small hail. But I think you're going to be fine. I think storms are going to end up going to your east and to your west, and you'll probably not end up with much. Oh, our chaser's on that? What? I forgot about him. Sorry, I forgot about you, Connor. So Connor's on our tornado warned storm here in southeastern Oklahoma. I forgot about the guy. So we'll keep I'll keep his feet up. Yeah, Tornado Man, that was a PDS tornado warning from earlier. That was from our PDS tornado warning earlier. Oh yeah, I see that. It was indeed a pretty big tornado. It wasn't a wedge, but it was a pretty decent sized stovepipe there. Oh, we also have Tropical Storm Raphael. Tropical Storm Raphael just formed in the Caribbean. You'll see that on the official NHC site at probably 5 p.m. Eastern. But I get it early because, well, because I get early reports on Twitter from IEMBot. Well, IEMBot won't show it until the NHC issues it. Let's see here. We're going to wait for our newest HRRR to render in here. I do think this is where our greatest tornado threat will be today. I think we're entering that peak tornado time now. Like I said, I think it's going to be in eastern Oklahoma here. So we'll continue to monitor that closely. That tornado warning goes for 39 more minutes, and our one in southeast Oklahoma goes for 24. Connor's looking at a shelf cloud right now. It's probably a bit rain-wrapped. I mean, it's hard to tell what's happening on the radar with it, so. But we'll keep an eye on it. Always keeping an eye on it. It's like the most common phrase I say. Still, we need a kick from our prefrontals, our lower level lapse rates. Here comes a new tornado warning. That's a extension there into Savannah, Oklahoma. You'll hear that come through very, very shortly. Let's see here.
Tornado warning for southwestern Pittsburgh County in southeastern Oklahoma, Pittsburgh County in Oklahoma.
I mean, it looks pretty good. It's a mini supercell, but I don't think it's actually going to produce anything. I'm checking this really quick. I think that storm southwest of Dallas is not going to do anything. It looks like it's too, looks like it's already fallen apart and it's too messy. Word of the day, messy. Very messy setup today. But we're probably going to conclude in 10 minutes. I'll most likely end up being back here tonight when the threat increases a bit more. But whilst I'm gone, this is going to be the main area where we have the potential for a strong tornado. I'm not going to schedule my stream yet. You know, we stayed an extra hour, so I won't schedule my stream for the next, whenever I do go live next later on today. I'll probably end up going live again later today, but I want to get a few things done here. This threat's going to be more of a long day. Things slowly ramp up. You know, you get a burst of activity for 30 minutes an hour, and then it dies down for an hour, and then you get another burst for 30 minutes to an hour, and it's going to do that all the way till probably 1 a.m. So, yeah. But I have a few things I want to do, so that way if storms do go absolutely, you know, if they start producing tornadoes frequently tonight, I'll be able to just stay live the whole time. Because we went live early. We went live very early.
Tornado warning for southeastern Labette County in southeastern Kansas, Labette County in Kansas.
Oh, it's an extension. I was like, what? Kansas? Yeah, it's an extension to this one. Most likely. Yeah, there you go. I was confused there for a second. I was like, what? Yeah, but that could produce a tornado as well. Another thing is these are in radar holes too, so I won't be too useful with my knowledge on these if I don't even have a radar sight to dissect it with y'all. Let's see. So that's your new tornado warning there. It includes a little over 3,000 people in southeastern Kansas. That's for this small area rotation that's moving up to the northeast. You can see it's sharply moving northeastward. Let's see. All right, I'm checking on it, and I'm not seeing anything. Where am I looking? I see nothing on velocity. This might be able to do something still in the next, like, hour or so. From, like, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. That could try for something. But it doesn't look, It doesn't look as good as it looked 30 minutes ago. When the National Weather Service, SPC, put out that mesoscale discussion for strong tornado potential. But we already covered quite a bit. We covered a PDS warning. We covered multiple tornado warnings. We covered at least 2 tornadoes. We covered 90+ mile an hour winds. 1-inch hail, 60, 70 mile an hour winds as well. So we covered a lot in this 3-hour live stream. And we may be live later on today. I know in my community post I said 6+ hours. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get to that. It depends on how tonight will be. It depends on how tonight will be. I feel like later on towards, you know, just after supper, just after 5, 6 p.m., like the SPC was saying, after 5 p.m., that's probably going to be our biggest threat, so we'll see. HRRR has the next burst of tornadic activity occurring most likely about 5 p.m. So we'll monitor it. I'll be on standby from probably 4 p.m. till 11 or 10 or 11 or so. So if I do go live, it will be in between, like I said, 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. We'll see. But yeah, since we're about to conclude, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. We're 1 away from 60 likes. Share the channel with your family, friends, social media. We'll be right back here, most likely later on today. I'll take a break tomorrow from live streaming, and then we'll be back here with a tropical weather update. Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday will be a tropical weather update. Most likely by the time we're live Wednesday, we'll already have had a hurricane hit Cuba and make its way into the Gulf. So that update for Wednesday will be about the potential for a tropical storm in the somewhere in the Gulf states, if it even looks like that's possible. It seems possible right now, but it should be a weak tropical storm, if anything. Yeah, I went live pretty early, Pete. Thanks for tuning in, catching the end, though. Better late than never. I went live pretty early, which is why I have to go, because I have some things that I didn't finish up. That's normally why I like to hold off on my live streams, but I'm glad I went live early because we did see a lot of activity. So hopefully things settle down whilst I'm gone. We only have technically 2 storms that are tornado warned. This storm here, this storm here. Just remain hyper weather aware in those tornado watch areas. The storms that I'll be watching the closest are definitely in southeastern Oklahoma. We could still see a tornado out of this storm as it goes towards Dallas in about... it will get to Dallas in about 30 minutes, but from about 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, it will have an opportunity to produce a tornado. The one in Arkansas, I feel like could do something. You can see it's still trying to rotate, actually. Northwest of Mount Ida, Arkansas, that's well to the west of Little Rock. So there's still a few cells to watch, but like I said, I have some stuff I want to go get done, so we're going to conclude. I won't do outro music since I didn't do intro music for this stream. And, yeah. Let's see here. Alrighty. Hello, William. We're about to head out. We'll most likely be live later on tonight, though. Like I said, between probably... I'll be on standby from 4 to 11 p.m. Standby means I'm ready to go live within a second's notice. But if nothing big happens, I won't. So, even though I promised, or I said, for 6+ hours today, like I said, there's still a chance we come back and do like another 3-hour stream. But that will solely depend on what happens with these storms. And I don't know, this is trying to drop something. We'll see. Connor has a view of it. It's just a big shelf. But that could produce a tornado right as we end. I would not be surprised. I'm going to try to see if I can find a feed of this really fast before we hop off. Yeah, if something's going to produce right when I get off, it's definitely going to be this one going to Savannah, Oklahoma. My day's been good, Haley. Ooh, eerie tornado sirens from Connor's feed. Here, I'll let y'all watch Connor for a minute or two really quick before we head off. Let's see, where's Connor's feed?
Where?
No ad. Just don't give me an ad for 1 minute.
Tornado would be right behind us, no?
So confused by the storm structure.
It'd definitely be behind us.
I don't like tornado sirens. I hate them. I'll forever hate tornado sirens.
It's just gonna put me in town.
I will forever hate tornado sirens.
It's just hard. Like
We're also down to just 2 severes too, so that's
I don't know.
something to note. But all right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and conclude. Like I said, I'll probably end up being back here later on this evening. If the threat does ramp up. If I'm not back here, then that means it never ramped up like we are expecting. So that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, no outro music. So, yeah, stay safe. Watch the severe weather and the tropics. Thank you, mods, for mod chat. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to today's live coverage. And if you haven't already, hit that like button on your way out. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. So again, if need be, we'll be live again sometime between 4 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll be watching these storms closely. So Yeah, that's gonna be it. Stay safe. Watch the severe weather in the tropics. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.